ridiculous, and you see these scuffles and all this nonsense at press conferences, and that is where it goes wrong.
But you can't be composed when a man's talking to you like that. Like, you know, I mean, me and you, who couldn't fight our way out of a wet paper bag, shouldn't allow another man to talk to us like that.
Moses Itauma just came out of nowhere and went straight at the legendary Alexander Usyk in a way that completely rocked the boxing community. Think about what this guy just did. Moses stepped right up to a giant like Usyk and made his move. This is someone who's ready to put everything on the line and throw away the playbook just to make his mark and get everyone's attention. But here's what made it even wilder. Usyk stayed completely cool with that ice-cold presence he's known for. That unshakable calm just made Moses look more frantic and desperate, which cranked up the pressure and loaded this whole situation with even more explosive potential.
I think that he'll do that, Alexander Usyk, is because Usyk is that guy he'll want to go down as not just one of the greatest to ever do it, but the greatest to ever do it. And I think that by beating a young kid that everybody's talking about as being the next king of this new generation.
So Frank Warren, one of the biggest names in promoting fights, had to step in because things clearly went too far. He laid it out straight up. That ring is where fighters settle things, not in some crazy scene before the actual bout. Look, these press events are supposed to build excitement and get people hyped for what's coming. But when you start putting your hands on someone beforehand, that's just reckless and completely unprofessional. This whole situation definitely added some raw energy to everything, but it just proves that the real battle needs to happen, where these elite fighters get paid to handle business the right way.
Well, this is not a gang fight, you know. The only two of the fighting are the boxers, and save it for the night. They don't get paid. They don't get paid to fight before the fight. Stupid.
Eddie Hearn really knows this game inside and out, and he perfectly captured how fast things can blow up at these high-pressure media events. He gets the dynamics better than almost anyone. When certain lines get crossed and we're talking about things like going after someone's family, or in this situation, an actual physical shove, emotions don't just heat up, they completely explode even for the most controlled and experienced professionals in the sport. Hearn made it clear that fighters, no matter how disciplined they are, or what's at stake, will always react when they feel pushed too far. Moses Itauma's direct confrontation with Usyk shows exactly how quickly a heated conversation can turn into complete mayhem, highlighting that razor-thin line between exciting pre-fight drama and total chaos. This whole thing more than anything shows that respect is everything in this sport, but when huge egos clash, tempers are bound to explode.
Your buttons, when someone shoves you like that, when someone starts talking about your mum, no man, like, look, I'm a complete pussy, right? If you start talking about my mum and all this other stuff, I'm gonna have a pop at you. I can't fight, but I don't care, I'll have a right go. And you're talking about the world heavyweight champion. If you start talking to him like that, if you shove him like that.
The harsh reality is these press conference confrontations are playing with fire, where everything can spiral out of control. When fighters start getting physical outside the ring, it definitely crosses a serious line. But here's what's interesting about combat sports. A certain amount of chaos is almost expected. This sport's history is packed with dramatic unplanned moments, from surprise fights breaking out to things getting thrown across the room. So while Moses Itauma's physical approach to Usyk was genuinely surprising, it's also strangely just another part of the wild, unpredictable world of boxing, where raw tension and dramatic showmanship crash together long before the opening bell. Johnny Nelson, who's a respected voice, strongly criticized both the timing and the recklessness of Moses Itauma's move. Doing this kind of thing on the morning of a fight is not only dangerous, but completely unprofessional yet, and this is what matters, it grabs every headline. This puts boxing boards in a really tough spot. How do they handle fighters who push the boundaries between promotion and actual aggression? While it's definitely poor form, it also pumps undeniable drama into the build-up for the Usyk fight, reminding everyone that in boxing, mental warfare often starts long before the first bell.
On him, man, to make the way how he's done it, you know, on the morning of a fight, it's just wrong. It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit. So I don't know how they're going.
Listen to Moses Itaama's words and you'll hear a fighter who's absolutely starving for the next big challenge. He's not sitting around waiting, he's actively going after world-level opponents, making it obvious that he's not just ready, but dying to step up and prove himself on the biggest stages boxing offers. This isn't just Taka's natural confidence mixed with a real desire to truly embrace the sport while climbing through the ranks makes him a wild card. Fans can feel the intensity and unlimited ambition coming from him, and it's exactly this fearless, almost crazy mindset that adds serious tension to any potential showdown with a legend like Usyk.
I've been screaming it, of course. I've been screaming it, but you know, like, I get it. Like, they want to step me up slowly. I'm down for that, you know what I mean? So.
Dave Coldwell, who's a voice of wisdom and experience in boxing, really nails the seriousness of Moses' actions. What Moses did, putting his hands on another man during a public press event, that's way more than just a promotional move. It's an immediate, undeniable escalation of the whole confrontation, whether it was driven by ego emotion or maybe a calculated combination of both. This aggressive action completely changes the entire dynamic between these two fighters. Alexander Usyk now faces an opponent who's, as he's shown, he's willing to cross every line even before the official bell rings. It has turned what would have been a standard intense stare down into a deeply personal mental battlefield setting, a tone that will definitely affect every interaction moving forward.
In that, because that's a little bit naughty, because I know it's all, you know, fun and games at press conferences, but when you lay your hands on another man's face, whether there's an egg in it or not, you've laid your hands on his face, and that takes it to.
Simon Jordan, who's known for his sharp analysis, brilliantly placed Moses' bold behavior in the bigger picture of boxing history, reminding us that these kinds of explosive incidents, while shocking, aren't completely unheard of. Fighters going over the line at press conferences is unfortunately a repeating pattern in the sport's past. Remember the Derek Chisora versus Vitaly Klitschko situation, a perfect example of emotions getting out of hand. However, as Jordan explains, physically touching an opponent, especially a shove, adds a completely different volatile element to everything. It immediately becomes something provocative, dramatically intense, and definitely sets the aggressive mood for what's coming. So now fans have this massive, almost unbearable extra anticipation, knowing that the real drama of this fight has already started long before either man steps into the ring.
And he's smashed an egg in his face. I mean, how many times have we seen boxers do things that they shouldn't do? You know, we saw Derek Chisora spit on Vitaly Klitschko.
We didn't need that.
I'm not offended by it.
This is huge. This is massive. Alexander Usyk openly calling out Moses Itauma. This isn't just speculation anymore. This officially means a fight between these two is now seriously on the table for one of boxing's greatest champions. Usyk, who's a master planner, is clearly plotting his route, and just mentioning Moses Itauma alongside a top-level undisputed opponent like Deontay Wilder immediately shoots Itauma's status through the roof. Make no mistake, this wasn't some casual acknowledgement. This was a direct, clear challenge, a statement that Usyk truly sees Moses as a real threat. Now fans and experts will be watching intensely, knowing that Usyk is not only ready, but actively looking to face someone who's willing to cross every line, both inside and outside the ring. The tension between these two is building at lightning speed, and just the possibility of this matchup is absolutely thrilling for the entire heavyweight division.
Thrown out! Get him out of there! Get him out of there! Back him up, GP, back him up, Steve Raider!
Frank Warren's latest statements have basically confirmed what many were hoping for. The potential Usyk versus Moses Itauma fight is now under serious active consideration. While he emphasized that no final contracts have been signed yet, it's clear that the promoters recognize the massive stakes involved, and crucially, the undeniable drama that Moses has already skillfully or perhaps dangerously created. The fact that Usyk, a world champion, is already seriously thinking about this matchup shows his complete readiness to get in the ring with an opponent who has the boldness to confront him so publicly. The powerful combination of Usyk's incredible skill, Moses' raw, unpredictable nature, and the clear interest from promoters all come together to create the perfect setup for a fight that could dominate headlines for weeks or months. Fans can now truly expect the careful planning and dramatic build-up to be just as gripping as the potential action that will eventually happen inside the ring, keeping everyone on the edge of their seats for what promises to be an incredible next chapter.
There's some good fights to be made. That's a consideration. We'll look at it.
We're gonna sit down when it might make decisions tonight. We'll consider it. That quote, often heard behind the scenes, perfectly captures Duke McKenzie's insightful perspective, which highlights how modern boxing thrives just as much on pure entertainment as it does on skill. While Moses Itauma's press conference behavior may have shocked some traditionalists in today's boxing world, it's largely seen as a calculated, albeit controversial move designed specifically to create maximum hype and grab overwhelming attention. By confronting Usyk so publicly and physically, Moses has effectively dramatically raised the stakes, practically guaranteeing that fans and media will be completely glued to every interaction, hungry for more. McKenzie actually sees it as brilliant precisely because it seamlessly combines promotion with the raw intensity of competition. Fans are now drawn in, not just to watch a fight, but to be part of the unfolding tension, the captivating drama, and the compelling storyline. It's a smart, undeniably controversial, yet incredibly effective way to boost public interest while keeping the spotlight directly on the two fighters themselves.
I thought it was a stroke of genius, personally. I don't see there's any harm in it. You know, this is the entertainment business that we live in now, and if you're not going to be entertaining...
Paul Smith's reaction refreshingly captures the slightly lighter, more theatrical side of Moses' dramatic confrontation, where some might immediately see it as just reckless or poorly timed. Smith, with his experienced perspective, sees the natural humor and undeniable showmanship in the moment, describing it as almost artistic and even entertaining rather than truly dangerous. This viewpoint is revealing because it shows that seasoned boxing fans and insiders have a unique appreciation for the kind of bold showmanship that's often essential for building truly epic anticipation for a major fight. Moses' incredible boldness and his instant willingness to directly challenge a titan like Usyk, even before the first bell rings, adds an electrifying extra layer of story to the entire bout. This kind of raw, unscripted drama keeps audiences completely engaged, fuels endless discussion across social media, and ultimately establishes his growing reputation as a truly fearless, thrillingly unpredictable fighter, making the eventual matchup an even more unmissable must-watch event for fans scattered all across the globe.
Expect that from Chisora. I'm not gonna lie, when it happens, I laugh my head off. I absolutely laugh my head.
I did too. I thought it was quite artistic. Adam Smith hits the nail on the head when he wisely states it's boxing and these things happen. Moses Itauma's completely shocking, unscripted confrontation with Alexander Usyk is the perfect example of the exact type of raw drama that electrifies the entire fight world. While of course no one would openly encourage such behavior, it undeniably pumps an insane amount of tension and hype into the upcoming events. Fans are now exponentially more invested. Countless questions are spinning through the boxing community, and social media is completely exploding with speculation. This isn't just a fleeting press conference incident, it's a bold, unmistakable statement from Moses, a direct challenge to one of the absolute best fighters in the sport, and it has undeniably forced Usyk into a position where he simply has to respond. Moments like these brilliantly blur the lines between pure sport and grand spectacle, serving as a powerful reminder that boxing is about so much more than just throwing punches. It's about compelling personalities, complex mental games, and the agonizing buildup of anticipation. The fight game thrives on pure unpredictability, and this single incident has dramatically raised the stakes, leaving fans desperate, absolutely starving to witness the inevitable fallout inside the ring.
To speak for the casual fans, do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens.
Jack Catterall brings a much-needed grounded, realistic perspective to the absolute chaos swirling around Moses Itauma and Alexander Usyk. He serves as an important reminder that factors like weight management, rigorous preparation, and personal limits vary incredibly widely among professional fighters, and that these extreme, often volatile behaviors are frequently tied directly to those intense underlying pressures. While the confrontation undeniably grabbed every headline, becoming instant viral content, he wisely points out that it's ultimately each fighter's individual responsibility to manage themselves safely and professionally. His important point truly emphasizes the hidden intensity intense behind-the-scenes elements of the sport. These are elite athletes, remember, grappling with immense stress, massive expectations, and incredibly high stakes, which in his view makes such emotional outbursts more understandable, even if they're never truly acceptable. This measured stance brilliantly highlights the incredibly fine line that exists between exhilarating showmanship and genuine danger in the intense world of combat sports. While fans are often captivated solely by the spectacular display, insiders see the raw human element, the brutal weight cuts, the crushing mental strain, and the sheer intensity of those face-to-face confrontations. This incident, while undeniably shocking, is a stark reflection of the pressure cooker environment that defines elite boxing, and it powerfully reinforces why both fighters must somehow maintain their discipline, unwavering despite the dramatic circus that now so vividly surrounds them.
Everybody's weight situation and weight making situation is unique to them. There's weight classes for a reason. I know some people are going to too extreme lengths. I don't know, I can't comment on it. I wish him to be safe and well, like I wish every fighter, but that's their business.
Adam Smith perfectly nails the inherent unpredictability of boxing when he so accurately states that scripts go out the window on fight day. Moses Itauma's shocking confrontation with Alexander Usyk is the absolute epitome of this truth. Seriously, no one, not even the most creative screenwriter, could have possibly scripted such an unexpected jaw-dropping moment at what was supposed to be a standard press event. In the dynamic, often chaotic world of boxing, things like raw momentum, uncontrolled temper, and a fighter's crucial mental state can entirely change the entire narrative of a bout. And Moses, with that single audacious act, has undeniably inserted a profound sense of chaos into Usyk's typically composed, meticulously controlled world. This isn't just mere hype, it's a carefully crafted psychological play, a direct in-your-face challenge, and a clear message that Itauma is utterly fearless and thrillingly unpredictable. Both fans and fellow fighters now have to seriously factor in this powerful emotional edge when that first bell finally rings. This insightful perspective powerfully reminds us that in boxing the concept of control is often nothing more than an illusion. The intense energy, the palpable tension, and the aggressive posturing displayed before the fight can, and often do, spill over into the ring itself, creating an utterly volatile electric atmosphere where absolutely anything can happen, transforming the upcoming clash into undeniably must-watch television. Eddie Hearn, building on this, perfectly captures the raw intensity that Moses Itauma brings to any confrontation. Being poked, prodded, and directly challenged face-to-face can ignite tempers in an instant, and this incident serves as irrefutable proof that mental battles are just as real, just as consequential as the physical ones inside the ring. Hearn highlights that a fight isn't solely about refined skill. It's about who possesses the mental fortitude to handle crushing pressure, unexpected provocation, and volatile situations. Moses' audacious attack on Usyk has transformed what was already a high-profile fight into a gripping storyline filled with intense tension and profound personal stakes. So the legions of fans, this adds an electrifying, thrilling edge for Usyk. It's become a supreme test of his legendary composure and unwavering focus. This insight profoundly underlines that these pre-fight moments matter immensely. They don't just set the tone for the entire fight, they dramatically elevate the narrative, inject a potent dose of unpredictability into every single punch, and transform the upcoming clash into far more than just a bout. It's now a deeply personal battle that absolutely demands your undivided attention.
So when you're getting poked like that in a face-to-face, you know, after a while the temper goes, and it's good. You know, I think it's going to be that kind of fight.
The Moses Itauma. The entire Alexander Usyk saga has just dramatically escalated from a single shocking press conference moment into one of the most talked about, intensely scrutinized confrontations in the entire boxing world this year. Believe me, fans are completely buzzing, analysts are passionately debating every single angle, and the raw tension between these two incredibly gifted fighters has officially reached a boiling point. Moses has without a shadow of a doubt proven he is utterly fearless, demonstrating an unshakable willingness to directly challenge one of the pound-for-pound best fighters on the planet. While Usyk's signature calm, calculated, and deeply strategic response powerfully shows precisely why he reigns supreme as the undisputed champion. This isn't just a fight in the traditional sense, it's a monumental clash of magnetic personalities, unparalleled skill, and unbridled raw intensity, and you can bet that the hallowed canvas of the ring will ultimately decide who truly asserts their dominance. With the stakes for both fighters higher than they have ever been before, this matchup isn't just promising, it's guaranteeing an absolute barrage of fireworks from the very opening bell. So do yourself a favor, do not miss a single moment of the gripping drama, the punishing punches, and the history that is actively being made. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, and make sure to turn on those notifications to follow every single explosive update as this epic personal battle spectacularly unfolds.